In this lecture, we're focusing on skin toners, alias astringents, alias skin fresheners. The State Board uses those all interchangeably, and the book does too. Okay, so I went to the esthetician textbook, and in the new edition, on page 258, it gives you the definition of the word toner. Also known as fresheners or astringent liquids designed to tone and tighten the skin's surface. Okay, which means it's going to help close those pores. When you go back to page 239, it tells you that it softens the skin. Now, we've had enough chemistry to know that I can't have those two in the same thing. My product is either going to soften the skin or it's going to tighten the skin. So which one is it? So now we have to take a look at formulations and actually what you do expect from a toner. There is nobody in this class, or that you know, who stands at the bathroom sink, washes their face, takes a damp washcloth, wipes off the cleanser, and applies a toner. At home, in your bathroom, you lather up and you rinse this off. And then you apply whatever comes next. The job of the toner, I disagree with the text wholeheartedly. It is not designed to remove the residue of a cleanser. It's not designed to remove the residue of anything. By definition, on the other page, we read that it tightens the skin. Okay? Now over here, I'm getting a mixed message. And as students, it's really kind of hard for you to figure out what did they mean when they said that. Why is it here saying one thing? Why is it here saying another? And sometimes, as a student, you don't even put those two together. Okay? So when you're looking at the purpose of a skin freshener or toner, ideally, it will be to tighten the pores, give you a positive pH, and hopefully have a pH of 5 when you're done. When you're done with skincare, one of the main causes for breaking out is that my skin may not be positively charged, and it needs to be. It may not have a pH as close to 5 as it should have because of other products' pHs have altered that, okay? And then on product application and such, for instance, if I've done a chemical exfoliant, an alpha or beta hydroxy, I have destroyed the beneficial bacteria that are in the skin. I need to replace them because I burned them and killed them. They're no longer there to protect me. And then if I have done like electric brushes or I've stimulated, I've done a massage, I must do a lymph drainage because when I bring the blood supply up to the surface of the skin, I'm bringing up food, oxygen, and nutrition. If I do not expel the carbon dioxide and cellular waste and push it down into the bloodstream, it's going to come out through my skin. That's why a lot of times all the complaints is, every time I get a facial, I break out. You can't even give them away. If you ask your friends, I'm taking skincare now, and I want to give you a facial, they go, no, every time I get a facial, I break out. Well, those are the 4 main causes. Okay, my pH isn't 5. I'm not positively charged. If I have destroyed my beneficial bacteria, they have not been replaced. And if I stimulated blood and lymph, if I don't expel the carbon dioxide and cellular waste, it's going to come through. So that's very much more common in a professional environment. At home, they're not going to stimulate much blood and lymph, okay? And they're probably not going to alter their pH of their skin that much. And so the reason for breaking out at home is more usually issues of allergy and not using the better choice of a product for my skin, once again, based on the list of ingredients, not the advertisement. The container they're always dynamic. I mean, women, as you're looking, standing there, and I am so much a container person. If I don't like the container, I won't even pick it up to read the ingredients. Okay, so just imagine somebody who doesn't have that knowledge. Here's the ingredient, and then I'm going to take the lid off, and I'm going to smell it. And if I like those two things, it goes in my cart, and I'm going to buy it. Now, when we're buying a lot of our stuff online, we're strictly containers because we can't smell it. And normally, you have to physically search for the list of ingredients that are in this product, because they're only going to give you the base things of what they want you to know is in it, and not worry about what's not in it, what is in it, what maybe should have been in it to give me a better result. So first we're going to take a look at what is the actual function of a toner. And I have question marks all over that because there's different schools of thought on what the toner is actually supposed to do. Okay, the other problem is when I'm buying a professionally made product, it has a specific set pH. I'm done. I can only alter it a tad. Okay, and I'm looking at my chart over here, and if I have oily skin, my skin's pH is at 6. So for me to have an optimum pH of 5, my toner has to have a pH 4 to bring me down. 5 doesn't bring me down enough. 5 will barely move me, okay? Then if I have dry skin, the pH on dry skin is 4. So now I need a toner that has a pH of 6. That 5 is not going to bring me up enough to make a difference, okay? So if a toner is advertising pH balanced, they're telling you the pH is between 6.5 and 7.5. That's great for my dry skin. It's torture for the oily skinned client. Toners are not a one size fits all. And my recommendation is that this is one thing that you make yourself. Okay? Toners have a specific purpose for a specific skin type. When you're doing work in a salon and you're working on a client who wants extractions and you use your disincrustation lotion, you took me over to a pH of either 8 or 10. How are you going to get me back to 5? Okay, we'll start with, okay, I took you all the way over to a 10. I'm going to rinse my product off with water. I'm not going to blot it off. I'm going to rinse it off with water. Water has a pH of 7. Okay, so you may have brought me down, if you took me to an 8, you may have brought me to a 7.5. Okay, if you took me over to 10, I'm still a 9. Okay, and then you're going to apply a toner that has a pH, and we'll use Dermalogic as a pH of 5. You may bring me down to 7 if I was a pH of 8. And if I had a pH of 10, if you took me over there, you might bring me down to 7.5 or 8. That's nowhere near close to 5. You have left me in an alkaline state, and you have left me prone to breakout. Okay, once again, on the flip side, if you did a chemical exfoliant and you took me down on the pH scale to 1 or 2, okay, and I have a pH of 6, the toner 5 is not going to bring me up enough. It'll be okay maybe for the dry-skinned client to bring them up to a 5, but my toner has to have a pH of like 6 now to bring that acidic value back up to 5 for my oily skinned client. And yes, the skin will adjust itself after those extremes in about 2 or 3 days, which means in those 2 or 3 days, I could be experiencing breakout. All right, so in the salon, it's important that you understand the pH of the products that you're using and what the cause and effect is on the skin, and then how do I return the skin so that I eliminate the main causes of breakout, because she's not paying me to break her out, okay? If I'm going to have my graduation pictures done and I go get a facial the day before and I wake up with zits, I'm not going to be happy with you. If I come to you for a facial a few days before my wedding and I come out with zits on my wedding day, I'm really not going to be happy with you, okay? And so you need to know what is causing this issue, and it's the fact that we're not understanding how the pH of product is everything, okay? Chemistry is everything. Your ingredients, what they do, how they interact with other ingredients, how they interact with your skin is crucial to you choosing the right one, which is why my philosophy is to make your own. So I put a little formula up here. You can take 1 ounce of purified water. Everybody buys that, you drink it, okay? Or I could even buy mineral water. Let's say that I wanted some minerals. Let's say for instance, the tonic water has quinine in it, it's carbonated, and that is excellent for destroying bacteria. It's amazing. So I might want to use that for my acneic skinned base. The best choice is a hydrosol. And right now you don't know what a hydrosol is, so I'll give you a brief explanation. A hydrosol is the water that's left behind from the distillation of the plant that gave you the essential oil. So if I have a lavender plant and I'm distilling it to pull out the oil lavender, then the water that's left behind is that hydrosol of lavender, so it has some of the basic components and benefits. So lavender is calming and soothing. So is chamomile. Calendula hydrosol, on the other hand, is for oily acneic skin. The rosemary hydrosols and the rose hydrosols are excellent for dry and or mature skin. So as you can see, my choice of liquid, the water that I choose, can be exactly specific to the issues my client has. Then I'm going to take an ounce of witch hazel, which is an excellent cleansing astringent. Once again, there's your cleansing word, but it's not designed to like cleanse, but it's designed to help keep you clean. And then that's going to give you a pH of right about 6.5, because the pH of water is 7-ish. Your hydrosol is a water, but it's got some constituents from the plant that you extracted it from, so it'll lower the pH just a tad. But it also has the medicinal qualities, which are very important to certain skin types. Then I can take fresh lemon, and now I can adjust the pH. So I have my pH papers, okay? They look like a little matchbox, and I stick them in, and it gives me the pH of exactly what I'm using. And I can create a pH-specific skin freshener for specific purposes. So if I'm in the salon and I've taken her over to a 10 and my water's brought her down to maybe a 9, 8.5 or 9, okay, then I can apply a toner that has a pH of 3. I need some power to bring it down, and I still haven't brought her down to 5, but I brought her down to a safe pH where I'm not going to have the issues of breaking out. Likewise, if I did a chemical exfoliant and I took her down to 1, okay, my pH is going to have that. This is a normal pH. This is perfect for that. And then if I'm making a toner for her to use at home on a regular basis, she's going to cleanse and rinse, okay? Then we're going to hydrate, hopefully with a hyaluronic acid-based hydrator, okay? And then if I want to, with the toner, to seal it in. Okay, I don't want it to evaporate out of. I want to close the pores now. But I don't want to close them before I've moisturized. Makes no sense. Common sense says, don't close the pores and expect anything to get in. Because basically, it's not happening, okay? And this goes against everything. But logically, you should be able to see the logic behind it. And I guarantee if you try it at home, you'll see a huge difference in just that one little step. But once again, remember, the state board says you will cleanse, you will tone, and you will moisturize. When you take your state board, you're practicing, I covered her up, on a plastic mannequin head. So when you're practicing for the state board, you're on a plastic mannequin head, you are only doing state board procedure. But as soon as you have a human face to work on, you have to make adaptations, because no product is a one-size-fits-all. I have to modify cleansing routines for special conditions. I have to modify the way and the order that I do things for specific issues. Skincare, and this is the challenge, is not a one-size-fits-all. I need to understand my chemistry. I need to know this pH scale. I need to understand it. I need to understand how it's factored. I need to understand how it works. And I need to understand the concept of product going on my face and the end result, so that what I'm doing is actually of benefit to this client.